If you see my face before, then what's up, y'all? It's your girl Chantel, back at it again with another video. And if you haven't seen my face, make sure you subscribe so you can never miss this face again. So number one, before we even start this video, I got my septum pierced, if you couldn't tell from afar, because it's a little small, but it's okay. Alright, so this week's video is gonna be about feminine hygiene, and this video is really for the girls today. But feminine hygiene is so important, and there is no hygiene without the feminine part, because if you are a female, you need to make sure that you're taking care of your downstairs area so you are hygienic. And this video is for everybody, whether you're going through puberty right now, whether you are 26 years old, whether you're a teenager like myself, or whether you just don't know a lot of information. This video is for anybody, so stay tuned and listen up. Alright, so the first thing we're going to talk about is discharge and vaginal smells. Now, discharge is 100% normal. Like, everybody has it, everybody gets it every single day. It can come in different colors, it can be different types. Like, it can be it can be thick, pasty, or thin. It can be white, clear, or like yellowish. So there's different kinds, and everyone's vagina is different. Everyone will produce differently, so just keep that in mind. And also keep in mind that, like I just said, everyone's vagina is different, so everyone's vagina will smell different. Just like the way that my skin puts off a natural odor, your vagina will put off a natural odor, which doesn't mean it's a bad odor, it's just the way that your vagina smells. That's it. But if your vagina does start to smell a little like fishy or a little too off, then make sure you are going to a doctor, because that can be a serious problem that, you know, you're not going to be able to really know until you go to the doctors. And when you do go to the doctors, they will give you medication so you can relieve that. And also, if you're itchy, if you're getting itchy, you should definitely go to a doctor. That means don't just Google it, go to the doctors, okay? Alright, so my next tip is that when you are going to sleep, you should sleep naked. I believe you should sleep naked because your vagina needs to breathe. It needs to have that time, that 8 hours or however many hours you sleep, to just breathe a little. Because think about it, all day you're sitting with your legs closed, or if your legs open, I don't know what you do, but you know, if you're sitting down all day and your vagina is in this enclosed space all day, just think about like your armpits. Of course, we wear deodorant, but naturally, if they're just sitting all day, they get smelly because that's a normal thing, you know? And that's the same thing with your vagina. Whether you're sitting or you're running around or you're walking all day, you need to make sure that you're giving your vagina time to just have a little breather, okay? Sleep with cotton underwear, sleep with cute little pants or whatever, but make sure that they're breathable. Things that are breathable. If you're not comfortable sleeping naked, or if you sleep with somebody next to you or share a room or whatever the case is, sleep with something that's breathable so your vagina can have a nice night. My next tip is to never put things inside of your vagina. Your vagina is a self-cleaning organ, and it will clean itself through discharge. So you don't need to worry about cleaning the inside of your vagina, which is a vaginal canal. You don't need to worry about that. All you need to clean is your labias, the outside lip and the inner lip. That's all that you need to clean. Just like your vulva. Just clean your vulva. If you don't know what a vulva is, Google it. Okay, so my next tip is to always make sure that you're using wipes. Personally, I use these wipes, what's it called? Summer's Eve wipes. I use the sheer floral, but honestly, you can use whatever scent that you like, whatever scent makes you feel comfortable. And I always suggest using wipes because I feel like that gives a real clean. Like, when you're at school or when you're at work or you're at an event or anything happens and you go pee or you do what you gotta do, you go poop or whatever, you need to make sure that you're properly cleaning yourself, because when you don't properly clean yourselves, that causes a lot of odor. And also, when you do use wipes, make sure that after you use a wipe, you're wiping yourself with toilet paper, because leaving your vagina wet can also lead to odor, regardless if it's summer's eve or even water, like after you get out the shower. not wiping yourself like with your towel correctly or enough can cause odor as well. So you just want to make sure that, personally, I would say use wipes because they do make sure that you're clean, and then use toilet paper afterwards to make sure that you're dry. And you can use wipes just when you're freshening up, because like I said, you are walking around all day, sitting all day, your vagina is like this all day. When you're wearing your pants or whatever, you are like this. Okay, so even if you just want to freshen up, using a wipe is the best way to do that. All right, the next topic is birth control. So I'm not against or for birth control. I'm actually starting my own birth control for my cramps because my period is really bad. But birth control will affect everyone differently, because like I said earlier, everyone is different. We all have different bodies. Every chemical we input into our body will react differently for every single person. So you just need to keep in mind that even though one person is like, oh my god, this birth control works so well for me, like I'm doing great, doesn't mean that it's gonna work for you. So you should always talk to your doctor first and talk to them about whether that birth control will be good for you. Try it out. Make sure you're going back in a month or so you can, you know, really compare like symptoms that you're having or anything like that. Just make sure that you're really watching out for it, because you know, birth control has a lot of hormones, so it will affect you differently than it affects your friend, and it affects your mom, and it affects anybody else. So make sure that you're doing what you need to do and taking care of yourself with your birth control. All right, so speaking on birth control, my next topic is apps. Literally just apps. Downloading Eve, I have no idea what any other app is called because I use Eve, but I love Eve so much. And you literally can track your menstrual period, you can track how you're feeling, you can track the symptoms that you have, you can track if you're having sex or not, you can track the type of things you're eating, like so many things. And they also have a community. By the way, this is not sponsored at all, I wish, but they also have like a community and stuff, which I used to use. I don't really use that anymore because I got like lazy. You know when you first get into an app and you use everything, and then after a few months you're like, few weeks you're just like whatever. So I really just use this to track my period. But yeah, I think it's a really great way to make sure that you're on track and to let you know, when is my period coming. It's coming on March 2nd. Okay, great. When is my period ending? It's gonna end in roughly 4 to 5 days. Great, thank you. And then that's it. And you just track it. You don't have to like go in every single day and put it in. To be honest, I usually just go in the day of my period, the day that it starts. I press yes, started my period today. I don't even do all that stuff. And then like I don't fill in anything else. And then I just go on the last day of my period and I click it. And then every single month it tells me when my period's coming. So yeah, and it really helps people who have irregular periods to really track when your periods are coming, so when you go to your doctor you can give them like the correct information. All right, so next topic is going to be about tampons and pads, tampon versus pads. And I'm just gonna say this right now, I'm all for the tampon. Like I love tampons, I use tampons, they're just the best, and I'm gonna tell you why. So tampons, which look like this, I don't even know what brand this is, but they're pretty discreet. And this is kind of a big one, but like I know that, I think this is Tampax. You by Kotex, they have like super tiny ones, and even this, you can literally just put it right there. No one will see it. You can go to the bathroom, you can wherever you're at, and no one will see that you have a tampon. Well, maybe if you do it that way, but if you're just walking with your hands by your side, you'll be fine, girl. Like nobody will know. If you really like don't want people to know, that's what you can do. And they're very easy to insert. I know that a lot of the times people do insert it wrong the first way and it really hurts them, but I promise you, once you insert it the right way and wear it for a couple of times, like it will get better. It really does get better, and eventually you won't feel it. Because with me, even though I wore it right, it still kind of hurt like when I sat sometimes, but over time wearing it constantly, it just got better. Like I just didn't feel it anymore. And that's what happens, you literally don't feel it after a while. Like you just don't. You put it in, it's like nothing's there. And it's so beneficial because you don't feel all the blood, you don't sit in your blood all day, which I think is so gross. And I used to do that and I hated it. And I think the worst part about my period was my cramps, but the second worst part of my period was literally feeling disgusting. Actually, that was the worst part of my period. Just feeling fucking disgusting, like sitting in my own blood all day, feeling dirty. Like, I hated that so much. Like, I just felt dirty all the time, and I don't want to feel like that on my period. I already feel like shit on my period, so I don't want to feel worse than I already do. I just want to feel better. And pads, these babies, I hate these bitches. I hate them. And I still use them from time to time. Like, you know, when I'm home, when I'm gonna be home all day, I'm not gonna do anything. Like, I don't mind being in a pad, just because in the first 2 days of my period specifically, I feel really uncomfortable and I get really bad cramps. So sometimes wearing a tampon, it makes me more uncomfortable. Like, it makes my stomach uncomfortable, not like my vagina. So sometimes, like, if I miss school because it's the first day of my period, I'll just wear a pad. Or if I'm going to sleep, I'll just wear a pad, because I don't really need a tampon. But also, if you have a really heavy period and you're going to sleep, it could be helpful to wear a tampon and a pad so you're not leaking at nighttime. I can go on and on about the cons with pads. Like, you're literally sitting in your blood all day. Bacteria's growing, odor's growing. It's just not cute. And with tampons, you don't get an odor. It just is. It just is. You know, it's just in there. It's fine. You're good. The final topic is shaving versus waxing. Okay? And let me tell you a little something. I've shaved pretty much all my life when I was younger. And I started waxing last year, I think. And I fell in love with it. I just fell in love. Because you wax, you're there for literally 10-15 minutes. For 2 weeks, your vagina is stripped of hair. Like, it's clean. It's great. And shaving is definitely more convenient. Like, you can do it in your shower, you do it yourself, you don't have to make an appointment. It's quick, easy, fast, simple, whatever. And I feel like it's very good for the in the moment times where, oh, like, I need to shave for tonight. Go ahead. A lot of the girls that I know, they have told me that literally once you shave, and even me when I was younger, I would shave once, the next day prickles. But waxing, it's taking your hair directly from the root, like taking it out, like when you're plucking your eyebrows. Like, that's what it's doing. So when you're shaving, you're only taking off the surface, which is why it grows back like the next day or the next 2 days, because you're only taking off the surface. So it's gonna grow, and when you shave, it grows thicker and it grows longer and it grows faster. But when you wax, it takes so long to come back. And especially if you start waxing like consistently, it takes a long time to come back. It grows thinner, and it's just so much better. I would say the biggest con to waxing is the amount of money. And also, like, I would definitely not suggest getting Nair and putting it on, or buying a wax like at Walgreens and putting it on. Like, no. Like, go to a professional. Go to where they know how to do it, because you don't want to do that yourself, because you can fuck it up. You can really fuck it up, and you don't want to have problems you don't want to have problems like that with your vagina. Like, that's just not okay. But yeah, I would say that the biggest con is the price, because it's like $40 to $60 depending on where you go. I go to Brazilian Wax Center, which is a pretty popular waxing place, and I paid like $43 including tips. So, and you always want to tip your person, because, you know, they're literally looking at your vagina and taking hair off, so you might want to give them a tip. It can be extremely unhygienic to do it yourself, or to go to a low-key waxing place that does it for like $10. Like, no, don't do that. Like, exit. So just make sure that you are taking care of yourself, and make sure that you're being safe with the products that you use. I'm gonna be doing a video of how to stay clean and hygienic on your period as well, so stay tuned for that video, and make sure that you're staying hydrated. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye.